Okay, but let's get into Sanda now.
Yes. Let us Asanda.
Episode 2. Fuyumura stops by the boys' dorm and it's dirty as fuck. And all the boys are like, holy shit, it's a girl. And Fuyumura brought a whole box of bratty beans for Sanda and then is like, okay, that was it. See you later. After Fuyumura leaves, all the boys are like, man, what the hell? Why is she coming to see you? And he's like, bratty beans. I love them. The boys are like, why is she coming by to drop off your favorite thing? And all the boys give him the death stare. But Sanda thinks fast and is like, oh, hey, it's dinner time. Let's have a race to the cafeteria. But Utagawa is like, no, not so fast. And they pretend to interview him about his relations with Fuyumura. So I will say that each of his roommates has names that they did show, but they didn't translate those names. So I know that DJ Montague can translate them, but I decided to save him the hassle and I translated them.
Dude, you're such a good friend, man. What a nice guy.
Amaya Hitoshi is the guy with the short black hair, and we do see him more in this episode. Dozo no Ike, he's the fat kid in the dorm. Mogi Hajime, he was in episode 1. He was the one talking to Sanda and telling him that Fuyumura is crazy and she's trying to kill him. Utagawa Iori is the bald guy with the glasses, and he's the one in the screenshot interviewing him right now.
Okay.
So if I use names, that's who they are. I'll try to preface it with bald kid, fat kid, guy from episode 1, a short hair, black haired kid.
Guy with dots for eyes.
So Sanda narrates that the kids are like national treasures. And in the current time of Tenshi, year 5, there are roughly 50,000 citizens under the age of 15. And that is 0.1% of the Japanese population.
Well, that's insane, by the way. To give you a reference, 18 to 22% of the population of America is under the age of 15.
Look up Japan, actually, because they're the ones with the struggling birth rate right now.
11 to 11.2% is under the age of 15. And as we're world building in Sanda, it's so much worse than I thought it would be.
Yeah, I have a lot of notes for this episode. They dropped a lot of information about the world.
Okay, continue. So I think we're both on the same page of like really absorbing what the world is like in this episode, because fucked up, dude.
At the Daikoku Welfare Academy, all the kids are monitored and protected, and now adults show respect to the kids, when in the past, kids showed respect to the adults. The kids talk about the school lunches, and Sanda is daydreaming and is like, man, kids are really great, as he's thinking like Santa. And the boys are like, man, what's with you? And Sanda thinks the boys have been pretty cute lately.
Like cute in a
child
those kids
sense,
are not cute as in I'm trying to touch them in a weird way.
Yeah, I'm not like Hikaru and I'm going to raw dog chicken them and then marinate them. The boys are like, man, what the hell? And Sanda is like, here, I'll cut out all the bad parts of the meat for you. And Utagawa is like, get off my meat, man. What the fuck? And ever since Fuyumura came by in those sexy ass street clothes of like a purple camisole and some jeans, and you not getting riled up, something is wrong with you. And you're acting all mature and shit.
Good on you, Greg, for knowing what a cami is. Proud of you, dude. But also, like, again, she is not hypersexualized in the show. Like, she doesn't have a fucking rack. Good on Sanda. Proud of you.
Sanda can't remember what she wore, but thinks that he can't see her as the opposite sex anymore, and he just sees her as a child. Then Sanda is like, oh shit, am I turning into Santa on the inside too? Back at the dorm, Amaya talks to Sanda, and Amaya is like, the boys are just seeing a friend grow up. So if one of us is doing it, then that means we all have to do it. And nowadays, kids want to stay kids forever, but you're completely normal. Sanda is like, damn, cool. Thanks for having my back. Then Amaya is like, well, that's because I know your secret. And then he whips out a tub of gamer sups that he used to incapacitate Sanda. And you can also get your tub of gamer sups with limited edition flavors like tased until incapacitated by using promo code DJ Montague at checkout for 10% off of your order of gamer subs that incapacitates your friends.
I mean, you could also go with the flavor 92 on the inside, 18 on the outside. That's probably a pretty disgusting flavor, I would imagine. If, you know... That's reference to this episode, by the way. I'm not a fucking weirdo, I swear to God.
I mean, I guess it could kind of be like Grandpa's ashes. Who knows?
Oh, yeah. I mean, if we went to the Gachi Akuta route, the tub of gamer subs could be, my hands are literally burnt and charred over, skin flavored.
Yeah, or like leather boots worn without socks for 17 years. Visit gamersubs.gg and use promo code DJ Montague at checkout for 10% off of your order of gamersubs. And I will do DJ Montague and gamersubs a favor and say that none of those flavors exist.
Thank you.
Gamersubs won't incapacitate your friends. They're just tasty beverages that you can enjoy with caffeine or non-caffeinated via the AFK line of beverages.
Thank you. I did send over one of our segues about a year ago to the guy I get in touch with for the sponsorship, and he was like, that's fucking genius. So, at least they know.
I mean, I have a new one every single week.
They're perfect, Greg. You're perfect.
No. The only thing that's perfect is Amaya's tasing ability, because that's what he used to incapacitate Sanda.
He had a really good stab. Very stiff arm stab. I don't think Sanda could get away from that. Good job.
It's always funny how shows, not just anime, depict being unconscious, because that's not how the taser works.
Right? I mean, you incapacitate somebody with a taser for a very short amount of time. You would have to keep it on them as you tie them up. You don't just knock them out. I guess you could tase someone until they're knocked out, but they're also probably have pooped and peed themselves.
Well, and like their brain is probably fucking fried at that point too. Yeah, they're incapacitated because they're dead.
Yeah. It's not like a video game where you incapacitate and the dude's just like, oh, wow.
The other boys walk in and are like, damn, Sanda, just sleeping on the ground? We were going to hit the baths. And Amaya's like, you guys go ahead. I'll wake him up and bring him. Sanda wakes up as Santa, draped in a red PE coat or whatever, in the exploded science lab, tied to a chair. And he starts yelling. And Fuyumura is like, damn, stop yelling. And she's also there, tied to a chair. And he's like, why are you here? And Fuyumura says, Amaya has a violent streak. And he's like, man, you guys blew up the lab, so don't talk. Sanda is like, how did you know my secret identity? And Amaya says, when everyone ran in episode 1, because he transformed and threatened Fuyumura, he stayed and watched. Sanda is like, why you got us tied up? What do you want? And Amaya is like, oh, nothing really. I just like having people under my thumb. But now I'm on your naughty list. Oh well. Amaya continues and says, as a 14-year-old, he can do anything he wants, and says that according to the Youth Protection Act, a kid can kill an adult and it isn't considered a crime. And there have been cases where kids have gone on a killing spree and just went back to class the next day.
That's insane.
That is insane.
Because in the current world, you can't legally, kill a bunch of people and then as a 92-year-old man go back to work and be like, yeah, everything was fine. You let him live his life. You go to fucking jail, or you should.
The kids are the future in this world. They're doing everything they can to make sure the kids make it to adulthood, I guess.
Yeah, which is insane as well, because it's not like that kid, killing people wouldn't grow up to be a monster too.
Yeah, Fuyumura says the same thing later on in the episode.
Yeah.
But Santa is like, well, I'm 14 on the inside. So if it's me you want, then let Fuyumura go. But Fuyumura is like, hell nah, don't touch Santa. And Amaya comments that it's rare to see a kid and an adult have faith in each other these days. Amaya is like, well, okay. If you two kiss, then I'll let you go. And Fuyumura is like, that's it? And he's like, not a peck on the cheek. You gotta make out and shit. Santa is like, fuck you. But Fuyumura is like, give me that tongue, Santa. Let's get out of here. But Santa is like, Amaya, are you trying to make me cross a line I'd never cross? Fuyumura is a kid, and Santa would never lay a hand on a kid. And Fuyumura is like, you just said you were 14 years old. But Santa says the Santa Claus genes won't let him break that taboo. Then Fuyumura is like, man, I'm not letting you get locked up in a cell before you fulfill your promise to me. Pucker up, bitch. Amaya starts laughing, and Fuyumura is like, kiss me, fucker. Then Santa thinks that kids that are cruel and self-centered aren't cute at all. And he's done being the model Santa Claus. And then grows fucking skis out of his feet and cuts the ropes. And he's like, Amaya, time for a spanking. Was there anything you wanted to say during that interaction?
No, I'm good.
Amaya is like, nah, man, Santa can't hurt kids. And Santa is like, yeah, you're right. But why does Santa Claus have fucking sword feet? Just then, an old ass hand opens the door. And it's the headmaster. And he's like, Amaya, what are you doing here all by yourself? And he's like, I'm not by myself. But turns around and Santa and Fuyumura are gone. But they're just hiding behind a table. The headmaster caresses Amaya's face with his old burnt ass hand and is like, your skin is so smooth. And then says his true age is the subject of many rumors among students. And he says this year he will be turning 92.
His hands are still 92. His face, on the other hand, a lot of reconstructive surgery, a lot of skin tightening.
He says by having near lethal levels of, I had to write this down, of hyaluronic acid and collagen injected into his face, he can keep his youthful appearance so he can demonstrate the value of youth in Japan.
I think it's hyaluronic.
Amaya is wasting his youth in this destroyed classroom. Santa thinks that the headmaster hates adults and is obsessed with children, and his name is Oshibu Hifumi, and his hands are 92 years old and believes that his academy students will rebuild Japan one day. The school motto is trauma-free curriculum, based on his belief traumas we experience in life break down a child's psyche, and he keeps a close eye on all the students. Oshibu is like, Amaya, because you're in here alone, does this mean you have emotional trauma? And Amaya is like, fuck no. No, man. I'm trauma-free. Believe me. And he's like, nah, you're lying. I can see it. Oshibu uses his cane to pull down his eyebrows. And he's like, you can't tell, but I'm fucking mad right now. And my face muscles don't work because of all this plastic surgery. And says kids that lie are just as bad as kids with trauma. And I'll have to set you straight by bringing you to the half basement.
Okay, so real quick, I wish I got a screenshot of this because he does it twice in the episode. It's really hard to get the best screenshots for what we're talking about. But like him putting his cane up to his face and making his eyebrows go further down and his squinty face, I was like, dude, this guy gets it. Like, he really knows how to be
92 years old.
Yeah. I mean, it's ridiculous. It's so insane.
Fuyumura is like, damn, I thought that was a rumor. There really is a class where they put problem kids. But then she's like, hey, where's Santa? As Oshibu is leading Amaya away, Santa blasts through the wall with his fucking sword feet skis and kicks the headmaster with his sword feet and is like, let that kid go. And Santa thinks that one thing has come from this, and that is he realizes something is wrong with this school. Oshibu is like, damn, well, good thing my face doesn't bleed because of all the surgery. I'll just call for backup. But Santa kicks his backup call button out of his hand, and he's like, damn, I didn't expect you to really show up. But I'm not scared. I'm here to protect the kids. But Santa is like, well, that's funny. I'm here to do that exact same thing too. And then carves a Batman S, Santa S around him, which then collapses the ground. Oshibu is like, you're old and gross looking. And Santa is like, yeah, well, you're actually old and gross looking. And if you can't answer what you had for dinner the day before yesterday, then it proves you're old and dumb. And he starts counting down from 5. Oshibu is struggling. And then Santa skates away with the kids. But then, after he hits 0, Oshibu remembers that the day before yesterday, he wore a t-shirt from it-aesthetics.com where he used promo code TABC10 to get 10% off of his order, or promo code TABC5 to get $5 off of your order with other stacking coupons. Visit it-aesthetics.com today to get your shirts for your 92-year-old body.
I thought you were going to say he was going to eat the shirt.
Well,
But
I had to make
Greg.
some adjustments, yeah.
Yeah.
And save 10% off of your order or $5 off of your order using TabC10 or TabC5 at checkout.
Yes, indeed. And thank you, IT Aesthetics, for dressing us in these wonderful outfits. They ship really fast, by the way, for everybody who's curious.
But no, he didn't have a shirt. He remembered that he had boiled tofu the
Which
day
is
before yesterday.
Old people food
And
through and
Fuyumura is like, damn, that's definitely old people food. They escape to the roof of the dorm, and Amaya is like, damn, that was a close call. But then Fuyumura slams his head into the railing and is like, you threatened me and Santa and knocked us out and blackmailed us. And now that you know his true identity, I gotta kill you. Amaya is like, I had to. I was on a mission. And then does the cute boy Zoolander blue steel look. And Santa is like, hate to break it to you, man, but that shit doesn't work on Fuyumura. Fuyumura dangles him over the edge, but he says that he wants Santa to make his rounds again. And his family owns a cake shop, but it's about to go out of business because there are less kids and the country is getting poorer and poorer. Santa then says that the Daikoku Academy used to be a department mall. And Amaya says if people knew Santa existed and started doing Christmas again, his family's business would bounce back and make a ton of cakes. Santa is like, damn, in a time when no one believes in Santa Claus. But I have these two kids believing in me, and I got so much power flowing through these veins. Fuyumura says we can't trust him, and we don't know if that's true. And Amaya says it's better than trusting an adult. And Fuyumura says it doesn't matter because if we can't trust you now, we wouldn't be able to trust you as an adult. And eventually everyone is going to turn into that old headmaster fuck anyway. Santa is like, no, what he said was true. I can see it clear as day. Look, with my old man vision, I can see the cake shop from here. And he tells Fuyumura that getting old isn't all gross and scary. Santa is like, Fuyumura, you got any of those bratty beans on you? And she does. And he turns back into Sanda. And he says that this is our secret. And as long as you don't tell anyone, I'll protect you from the headmaster. They all promise together, and they put all their hands in the middle. But then Sanda is like, wait, how does Fuyumura know my secret if no one else knew? It cuts to Oshibu on the phone reporting the Santa incident, and it's time for the Saint Nick Pursuit Unit to go into action.
What the fuck are you talking about with the Saint Nick Pursuit Unit?
And that's episode 2.
SNPU is the new show.
Law and Order, SNPU.
I like Sanda. I think it's funny. It's silly. And it's appropriate because obviously Christmas. Good call.
We see now it's probably going to take a little darker twist than any other Santa Claus anime out there.
I don't think there's really any Santa Claus anime all the time anyway, but yeah, you're going to have some kids getting strung up in test tubes and experimented on, I'm sure.
I wouldn't doubt that. It obviously seems like there's a population issue in the world that they're creating in Sanda. We only know of Japan right now.
Mm-hmm.
So is it something like if kids are only 0.1% of the population, and that's 50,000, if I could do reverse math, that means that the rest of the 99.9% of the population equals like 50 something million, like a ridiculous amount of people. So you're telling me that, and I'm assuming here, I don't know exactly what constitutes as a kid and at what age they become adults, but let's say it's like 18. So you're telling me that there's 50 million people between the ages of 18 to 100, but then there's only 50,000 kids under the ages of 18.
It is 50 million. You're right.
Okay, cool. I can do math.
Mm-hmm.
How did that come to be? And I would like to say that it's something where they're using the kids to study youth or immortality or something like that.
Probably
And
something like that.
they had such an issue with birth rates and repopulation in Japan. They decided to take it to the other extreme and is like, well, we don't need to have kids if we just live forever.
Okay. Yeah. I think that'll be the main storyline. And Santa Claus is the one that gets people to procreate. This show's weird. It's definitely strange. I should say that if the population's still 50% female, I mean, 50 million people living in Japan. How many people currently live in Japan? 122 million. So their population has gone down by 50% and they've lost all their kids. You can imagine it's very similar for the rest of the world. Yeah, this show's fucked up, man. But, I mean, I assume that the women, once they see Santa Claus's ripped fucking body, they'll be like, oh yeah, I'm down for procreation again.
Maybe if they saw the headmaster's 92-year-old hands, they'd be like, oh man, that's hot. I don't know what world they live in.
Yeah, true. I mean, can't kink shame.
I mean, that's like basically you saying, damn, I wish, like, I hope I'm never that fucking ugly as a 92-year-old.
Okay, Greg, don't bring that back like I didn't grow from that, okay? I'm a new man. I'm a new person, okay? I like Sanda. And I'm excited to see how fucking dystopian the world gets. Because we have, like, 3 shows in this season that are, like, dystopian future. Toward in the Apocalypse, Sanda, and then Gachikuta,